con man. You know, my vision is to branch out and delve into sports as well as entertainment. I have a very special guest, and you're all in for a treat. Make sure you press that share button and share this video with your friends. My guest is the one and only Duane DaRock Ramos. He is one of the most producers, writers in music today. He's a rapper, producer, singer, songwriter extraordinaire, businessman, actor, messenger. He has collaborated with the likes of LL Cool J, Conan, Jay-Z, Tatiana Ali, the Pussycat Dolls, Faith Evans, Shaquille O'Neal, Every Flash, Wyson Yandel, Big King, Kevin Hart, Cardi B, Tiffany Haddish, and of course Oprah Winfrey. How you doing, my man, Duane?
Yo, what's good, man? Can y'all hear me
What's
good?
going on with you, man?
Good.
I hear you fine, man. I want to thank you for coming on my show, and let's kick it, man. Duane, for those of you, for them who don't know who you are, can you explain who you are and what your journey was? What was your grind? Let the people know.
Well, I came in the industry as 12 years old. Started off with Eli Barrett from New Bedford. Started off with Mo Burgo, Tyrone Barrett, Super V, Joe Nascimento, Jack Arujo, Eddie Hunter.
Oh, wow.
I have like Brian Magnet, Ronnie Magnet, Black Rich from Boston. So I started off as a rapper, and I started doing all these shows, and low key, like no one really knew how I was. Like, I never really asked my mom for anything or family for anything because I was making money off shows. I made a living. I made a living off winning talent shows, and that money was like it kind of like helped me, like, and then Kevin Perry, like Mo Burgo made sure I had the suits, the presentation.
Of course, yeah.
My presentation, I used to go to school. I remember being in school, and the principal pulled me aside and was like, the headmaster was like, listen, you're looking way more professional than these teachers. I'm going to need you to tone it down.
Wow.
So I looked at him. I was like, this is my image. See, I had a clean image. My mom made sure, like, she says, if you're going to do this rap stuff, I don't want you swearing, no cuss words. So I've been in the game for 36 years. Still, I don't make no songs with any cusses in
it. That's definitely true. I can attest to that. You know
what I mean? So my songs are real clean. My image is clean. And I just started. But the crazy thing about it, though, is I used to beatbox for Joyce and Tail, God rest his soul. And when I was beatboxing for Paul DePina and Sainty Sane and Preston and Cardinal D and Super V, like, I would make beats, but didn't know, fast forward, I'll really be making beats for artists.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I came out here to the West Coast. Russell Ramos had hooked me up with a plane ticket. He said, yo, listen, you're going to go stay with my friend Margaret, and I don't know about getting you a way back. I'm going to have to figure that out on how you're going to get back. Do you want to take the ticket? And I said, listen, I ain't coming back. I'm not worried about coming back to New Bedford because I'm going out there to make it. And just to show you how God works, I came to the West Coast when I was 4 years old with my grandmother. And I sat in the emergency section, 4 years old, in the emergency section in the aisle with my grandmother. And the pilot came up, and he said, how you doing? And I told him, I said, I'm going to California to be famous. at 4 years old. Didn't know what I was doing. So here it is, Mike. He hands me this. I got this when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And this is the thing that you put on your collar.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So I got this when I was 4 years old. So, and that was American Airlines. American Airlines. Fast forward, June 12th, 1993, Russell Ramos hooks me up with a plane ticket. It's on American Airlines.
Wow. That's deep.
So
deep.
I'm on American Airlines and I see Marky Mark on the airplane with me. He's going to LA. So he's going to LA. I start talking to him about Hector Barrows and Scott. And he's like, yo, he says, good luck. He says, man, what you doing? What you going out there to do? I said, listen, I'm going out there to go make it. I'm going to get it going. And I'm not looking back. And then he turns around and says he's going to go out there to go find an agent because he wanted to get into acting. Mark Wahlberg.
Figure that, huh?
We both came out to LA at the same exact time to make things happen for our lives. He had came off a big hit, The Good Vibration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm toured all over the world because his brother's, you know, Donnie from New Kids on the Block. And I came out here, we exchanged numbers. And I remember some lady came out of nowhere and was like, hey, I need to talk to you, Mark. He was like, listen, I got no time. I can't, I'm in a rush. And I said, how can I help you? She says, well, I need, I want to talk to him about doing a TV show. I said, give me your information. I took all her information down. It was a TV show called Acapulco Heat at the time. And I took down the information for her. Then I passed it on to Mark. And he was like, yo, you came out here to be an agent? I was like, nah. He said, you handled that like you were an agent. I said, wow. I said, nah, that was just, you know, I know you're busy, so I just wanted to make sure you don't miss out on no money.
Mm-hmm.
So I plugged them up with that, and it turned into something. You know what I mean? So, and he ended up doing this thing, and it's just crazy how now I'm doing that exact thing, like plugging people up with stuff, with opportunities, making opportunities for myself. But when I came out here, all that hospitality, all that Cape Verdean hospitality, all that, like, you know, let me invite you to my house and look out for you. Like, all that went out the window because the industry don't care about your culture. The industry don't care about like, you know, nothing personal. It's all business.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started being nice to folks, they took my kindness for weakness. And I didn't know how to play the game because I just came out here. I didn't know nobody but Margaret out here, my cousin Todd Doris Reese out here, my cousin Geraldine out here, but I wasn't in contact with her at the time. And it was challenging. Very, very challenging. And so when I came out here, things got a little rocky in my situation and I ended up bouncing. And the Black Eyed Peas was like, we was underneath the same like management at the time out here in LA, and they were struggling like crazy.
Wow.
Like I would take food and I would go bring it to them. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. We would look out for each other. We would take rides to record companies to go shop our music, all that. And then the crazy thing about it is I ran into Ice Cube and I talked to Ice Cube, and Ice Cube was like, yo, let me hear your music. Let me hear what you got. Let me hear what you got. He said, let's take a meeting tomorrow. He says, if you're good, I'm gonna give you a record deal. So I went out that night to go celebrate that I'm gonna have a meeting with Ice Cube and I'm gonna get signed, and somebody broke into the car and stole all my music.
Wow. That's
All
deep.
my music, all the demos I made in New Bedford and New Jersey with Amelia Moore, like all my music was stolen. They broke into the car and only stole my bag.
Wow.
I used to take that bag everywhere I go because I didn't want to leave it because it's my livelihood, it's my life, it's everything.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So what happened is I got really, really sad because I'm like, man, I just missed out on an opportunity to get signed to Ice Cube, and I don't have no music to play for him. So I end up going to the meeting, and a brother Don Muhammad comes out and says, "Hey, you got your music?" And I looked at him and says, "Man, I don't even have my music. My music got stolen." And he says, "Well, come back when you got some music, and we'll talk about, setting up another meeting." Opportunity went out the window, just like that.
Damn.
So then I meet Gangstar, God rest his soul, Guru from Gangstar, and I'm like he's on the mic at the show hosting it, and he was like, "Yo, what you do?" I said, "Give me the mic and I'll show you what I could do." So he turns around and was like, "Yo, go." He put the beat on. I started freestyling. I started rapping. I handed him the mic. He said, "Nah, I'm not going after that, bro. You killed it." He says, "Who are you? What's your name?" I said, "My name is DaRock. I'm from New Bedford." Da-da-da. He was like, "Listen, I want you to send me your music because I want to give you a record deal. I have a label called Little Kid Records with EMI Records, and I want to get you a record deal." Yo, I sent him beats because I didn't have no demo because I started making beats, and I sent him beats, and he called me up and says, "Why would you send me beats? I got Premier as a producer. I'm interested in you as an artist.
Right.
Why would you send me beats?" Yo, and I had to tell him straight up, like, I don't have no music. All my music got stolen. So there was another record deal out the window.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Another record
Yeah.
deal out the window, like EMI Records. Boom. So then I ran into this. I got introduced to this from the Black Eyed Peas. Is this guy named Jan Styles. Yo, he turned around and was like, "Listen, let me hook you up with my girl Erica. Erica, she works at a record label, and see if she knows some people." She introduced me to this dude named Stephen Brown. His name was Baby Boy.
Mm-hmm.
She introduced me to him, and he was a jazz player. Like, he played jazz. He made all jazz, hip hop beats and stuff. So I was like, "Listen." I started telling him the kind of beats that I wanted to rap to. You know what I'm saying? But let me take it further back because it's the start of something. So my man Flip Matrix, his name is Floyd Wilcox. He produced my song called "Get Up, Stand Up." Don't Stop the Rock. It was called "Don't Stop the Rock." Right? He produced that for me when I was 16 years old. So I had that song on a cassette tape that was actually in my back pocket. So I had one song but that one song was just not like it just wasn't enough to get a record deal. So I had that one song, right? Remember this name. His name is Floyd Wilcox, Flip Matrix. That's his name, right? So fast forward, I had that song called "Don't Stop the Rock," right? So I played that record. I played that for Stephen Brown, and he was like, "Yo, let's just remake it. Let's give it a little bit more of an up-to-date feel." Da-da-da. So I started coaching them on how I wanted my beats to be made because I couldn't find anybody to do my beats. I would do these shows. I met the group called The Far Side. I would rap with them in their shows, and people used to think I was part of the group because I would kill this. I was freestyling, like I would kill it.
Yeah.
And they were like, people come up to me, they're like, I can't wait for you to go solo. I can't wait for you to go solo. I'm like, I'm not even in the group. They had the song called She Keeps on Passing Me By. Like they had the hit record out. But they saw me perform and they wanted me to, I was rolling with them to shows, and I would get up on stage and rock the crowd, hype it up, all that. So then when I had these songs with Stephen Brown that I was making, I realized like, man, I could produce beats. I could make beats. So I made one jazz beat with a hip hop vibe. And I heard about a concert with Big Daddy Kane, SWV, it was a big concert. It was at the Forum. So mind you, I had just got thrown out. So I'm homeless. Right? Homeless. I'm making friends and I'm staying with friends. As I'm meeting with them, I'm like, yo, you mind if I crash on your floor? Because I got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So I'm sleeping on the floor, but I'm on the floor and there's like 4 other people on the floor. So I'm asking, I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's y'all situation? They're like, yo, we don't have nowhere to go. This guy just turned around and wanted to look out for us. So now we're here and, hoping we can make it up out of here. And I'm over here I'm hanging out with dudes I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And this dude is able to open up his door because he heard me at a show and was like, yo, you come stay with me. And I was just like, all right. But I didn't know I was staying with him and 4 other people on like with a blanket and a sheet on a hardwood floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with that. Next thing you know, it's like he gets a notice like he's gonna move. So I'm like, man, you gotta move. So where am I gonna go now? So now I'm scratching my head like, where am I gonna go now? So I hit up this dude. This dude says, come stay with me. So I go stay with him. He's right down the street from the Forum. I go stay with him. And next thing you know, he's like, yo, man, you need to go to the welfare office and get some general release, some food stamps. And let them know that you're homeless so you can survive. So I'm like, I'm saying I'm homeless. I'm like, I'm staying here at your house. He was like, nah, just go do that. So he said, you should do it tomorrow. So I was like, all right, I'll do it tomorrow. But that night there was a concert at the Big Daddy Kane concert. So I walked to the Forum. I go backstage. I go to the gate where the backstage is, and I tell security, yo, let me in. I'm with Big Daddy Kane. The security was like, no, you're not with Big Daddy Kane. He's by himself. You're not with him. I said, go ask that guy over there. So the security guy went to go ask the guy about to go ask another security person about Big Daddy Kane. I told the guy I was Big Daddy Kane's dancer. And the guy turned around and was like, he don't have no dancers. He's not here with. So he ran, yo, Mike, check it out. He ran. This is God. I'm gonna show you God right now. This is how God comes in. So he turns around and runs to go ask the guy, yo, that was my cue to run. I ran backstage and I ran behind a wall, and Big Daddy Kane was standing right behind the wall. I had the beat that I made I had it on a CD and a Walkman. Right? He hears the shit. No, it wasn't a CD at the time. No, it wasn't a CD. It was a cassette, but it was a Walkman. He hears the beat and he was like, yo, who made this? I said, I made it. He said, how much do you want for it? I was like, give me $3,500. He said, you can pick up the check tomorrow. I was like, really? He said, you can pick up the check tomorrow. So he says, but you're going to need to get a lawyer to negotiate the contract and all this other stuff. So I was like, oh, man, I don't even know no lawyers out here.
Right.
I don't know anything, right? So he gave me his number, and And so I leave out of there like, yo, I'm at Big Daddy Kane. I'm excited because Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, and LL was my favorite rappers. I wanted to work with them like crazy. So I go back to tell my friend that let me stay at his house, like, yo, you ain't gonna believe this. Next thing you know, I'm getting ready to tell him. I hear, boom. Yo, I look out the window. Someone got killed on my doorstep.
Oh,
somebody was actually trying to run up in my house where I was staying at, but the door was locked, and somebody came and shot him and killed him.
oh.
And so the person was on my doorstep. I looked outside. There's a guy dead outside my doorstep. I was like freaked out. All that, mind you, you hear about the stuff, but you don't know about the stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let me shut off this. So what happened was, I go tell him like, yo, I said, next thing you know, the cops come, they're like grabbing the body and all that stuff, right? It's crazy. Like, this is my second night at this guy's house, and this happened. So that night, he says, yo, you gotta go to the general relief tomorrow. You gotta let them know you're homeless so you can get the food stamps so you can survive out here. So I said, okay. So I get on the bus to go down here. He gives me instructions to go down there. Yo, I'm next in line to get assistance. And I screamed and said, no, I'm not getting food stamps. I'm not going to be on welfare. I screamed it loud, Mike. I said, no. Got back on the bus. Went to the place where I was staying at. All my shit was outside.
Damn.
The dude that I was staying with threw me out.
Wow.
That's why he was telling me that I was homeless.
Yeah, because he's about to kick you out.
And it was only my second day there. We had no confrontation, nothing.
Wow.
So I had all my stuff outside on his balcony. I had 20 cents in my pocket, and I only had 20 cents in my pocket. So I walked up out of there. I saw this guy, on his cell phone, and I had a phone number in my back pocket to my boy Duane. And I hit him up. I said, yo, man, what you doing right now? He said, I'm just chilling. He said, yo, can I just come chill at your house for a couple of hours? Because I just need to get myself together. He said, all right, where you at? I said, I'm over here. I'm in Inglewood. I'm in Hyde Park right now. He was like, all right, when he come to pick me up, he sees me grabbing all my stuff. He's like, yo, what are you doing? I said, yo, I just got kicked up out of my spot.
Right.
He was like, yo, you can come stay with me for a couple of days. He said, I got a 1-bedroom apartment, man. You're going to have to, I don't have no furniture. You're going to have to sleep on the floor. So I'm back on the floor again. Right? Back on the floor. You know what I mean? So then, I got Big Daddy Kane's phone number. So I'm over here like, let me see what's going on. So I called up Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane was like, yo, I'm gonna have the record label reach out to you so you can work out the business. So I'm inside. It was called Circuit City. It was like a little electronics place, right? So I'm inside there and I'm rapping. This guy comes up to me. He was like, yo, you got some talent. I was like, yeah. He said, what's your story? I said, I don't have no place to live. I'm homeless out here. He was like, come on, you come rock out with me. So I go to his house. I go there for one day. I meet this manager. Next thing you know, I get a call from MCA Records to go to and I found a lawyer. I meet Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
Montel Jordan was like, yo, you can come stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know your situation's crazy. You come stay with me. You can come stay with me and my manager, Tom, blah, blah, boom. So next thing you know, I go get the check for $3,500. So now I got money in my pocket. I meet this manager. The manager turns around and says, I can get you $50,000 because you have a placement with Big Daddy Kane. So I said, okay, cool. So next thing you know, I signed a little contract with him saying he could manage me, whatever, and I'm excited because I got Big Daddy Kane. Now I got management. Yo, he gets me a publishing deal. And next thing you know, all the money's gone. So I'm over here like, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So now I got 3,500 to my name, but I signed a deal for 50,000, and they started paying me monthly. You know what I'm saying? I was getting monthly checks for like 2,500 a month, something like that. 2,500 a month. It was only 2,500 a month I was getting, right? So I'm trying to find out like the business, and I didn't like. I got. You know what I'm saying? So now that money got taken. So next thing you know, I get a phone call. My son's mother's like, I'm pregnant. So Mike, so check it out. I'm about to be a dad, right? I'm over here like, so I go get an apartment. It's crazy, Mike. I go get an apartment because I got money now. I got 2,500 coming in.
Right.
2,500 coming in. I get with my son's mother. Things is looking up. Then it don't work out. I'm homeless again. My publishing deal stopped. They stopped giving me money, 2,500 a month. No money. Stopped. So then I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I keep getting on and then falling off, getting on, falling off. You know what I mean? But now I have a credit of a Big Daddy Kane credit.
Right.
So now I got a little weight under my belt for having one placement. So then I go turn around and now I'm staying out in Burbank, staying with Montel Jordan's manager. My cousin calls me up because I didn't know he was out there. He calls me up. Yo, come stay with me. You don't need to go stay with them. You don't need to stay with strangers. Come stay with me. Yo, here it is. I go stay with him. I'm rocking out with him for like 3 weeks. I told my boy, Lamont, God rest his soul, I said, yo, we need to go out tonight. I got a feeling something big is going to happen. We need to go out. So I put on my clothes. Yo, I go to this restaurant. I see Shaquille O'Neal in the restaurant. Yo, I go up to Shaq. I was like, yo, how you doing? My name is DaRock. I'm a producer. I got beats. He was like, let me hear your stuff. Let me hear it. So I handed him the CD. Yo, he goes out to the car. And he's banging the music. I put my number on the CD at the time, Yo, he's banging the music. So I'm over here like, yo. So I run outside. He's like, how much you want to try? I was like, 7,500. He says, come pick up the check tomorrow for 7,500 at 3:00. Right? 7,500. I'm staying with my cousin. That morning, right? The next morning when I'm going to go pick up the check, yo, come out here, man. The sheriff's outside.
What?
Yo, what the hell's going on? Yo, there's some sheriffs outside. Yo, I look. Yo, they said we have 15 days to vacate the premises. He's getting evicted.
Wow. Man.
So now I'm like, I ain't about to be homeless again. I'm like, now I got 7,500 on me. So I looked out the window. I see this a building on the side. I see this building. I'm like, it says rent, apartments for rent. Yo, I ran over there. I was like, listen, I got 7,500 right now. I need to get into a place. She was like, do you have a co-signer? Because my credit was a little crazy. She said, you have a co-signer? I was like, Shaquille O'Neal. She said, Shaquille O'Neal? I said, yeah, I'm going to go get Shaq. And Shaq will make sure I get in this place. She said, if you bring Shaq, you won't just let me see him, and I'll make sure you have this apartment. But you got to have the money up front. So Shaq, I called Shaq. I said, yo, Shaq, I need you right now. I'm on my way. Yo, he came to the apartment.
No.
The lady sees Shaquille O'Neal and was like, are you serious? Are you serious? Wait a minute. He's too big to be Shaq. He's too tall to be Shaq. You sure that's Shaq? I was like, look, that's Shaquille O'Neal. So then, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then Shaq comes in. Shaq's like, he says, what do I need to do to get so he can be straight? She said, oh no, he's straight. So I take my money and I put down like 4 months rent in advance. Cause I was like, I'm not being homeless ever again.
Right.
Like I'm gonna secure myself. I'm gonna secure. So then it's like, and the crazy thing about it I didn't mention is I had a dream in 1994 that I worked with Janet Jackson. I had a dream that I sampled her song, Let's Wait a While. And I had it in the back of my mind. So fast forward, come 97, 98, I sampled Let's Wait a While. So then I'm over here like, man, I need to get this sample cleared so I can put this record out because I feel like I got a hot record. I ran into a young MC. Remember Busta Move?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ran into young MC, and I was known it because he wrote Wild Thing for Tone Loc, and I was like, yo, I said, man, write me something. So he wrote me a rap for my song that I did on Let's Wait a While. So I took a meeting the next day with Michael Jackson's label. And Michael Jackson's label was like, well, it's going to be impossible to clear the sample because Janet Jackson don't clear nothing. So it's going to be impossible to clear the sample. He says, but I got some friends in the other room that's from London. I want you to meet them because they may be able to help you out and give you a record deal off all your other music if you have other songs. So I was like, oh, okay. So they come into the room. I played it. Something I want to tell you. You've been on my mind for a long time. They start going crazy. They were like, hey, if you can clear this sample, we'll give you a record deal with Warner Brothers in Germany. And I'm like, what?
Crazy.
Germany? Oh my God, are you serious? Yo, I went into the lobby and had tears in my eyes. Because I was like, oh my God, this is the opportunity. This is major. But the only obstacle is to get the sample cleared. They said, if you clear the sample, we're going to give you a record deal for $100,000 up front. And it's not a tax. It's not attached to your royalties. And if you get the sample cleared, we'll give you $10,000 as a wiring as a bonus, and we'll wire you the money as soon as you come back with the clearance.
Wow, that's deep.
Yo, I left out of that record company. God told me to call Busta Rhymes because I ran into him. I ran into him and I remember him telling me that he was staying at a hotel. I called the hotel, didn't have his cell phone number, and asked for Trevor Smith, please. They transferred me to Busta Rhymes' room. He's like, yo, who's this? I said, yo, it's DaRock. He was like, yo, I can't talk to you right now. I'm getting ready to meet Janet Jackson. I'm getting ready to meet Janet Jackson. I can't talk to you right now. I was like, yo, who? You getting ready to meet who? He said, I'm getting ready to meet Janet. I said, all right, bye. Hung up. I told my boy, take me over to Busta Rhymes' hotel. We're going to meet Janet. He was like, what? If I meet Janet, I'm going to lose it. Yo, we get to the hotel. 10 minutes later, Janet pulls up in a black Range Rover. I play her the song that I did with her rapping, with me rapping on it. And she went crazy. I said, I need your signature because I want to get this record. I want to get a record deal, but I need your signature. She says, Lindsay Scott is my lawyer, my business manager. Get with Lindsay Scott and tell her, and I'll put a call through giving you permission to use the song. I said, I need you to write it on this napkin. She wrote on the napkin, I, Janet Jackson, love the song and give Duane permission on a napkin.
Crazy, man.
Yo, the next day, Mike, I'm at the record company at 8 o'clock in the morning waiting for them to open up. I see the guy walking by. I said, yo, Mike. I said, yo, his name is Ken Coleman. I said, yo, Ken, come here. He said, Rob, what are you doing here? I said, I got Janet Jackson's signature. He said, are you shitting me? I said, no. He said, how did you do that? I said, God told me to hit up Busta Rhymes. And I hit up Busta Rhymes, and Busta Rhymes was rehearsing for the American Music Awards with Janet Jackson, and she was coming to pick him up. And I got there before she picked up Busta Rhymes. And I let her hear the song, and Janet was approving me using the song. He said, let me get these guys in here right away. I waited until 12 o'clock for them people to get there. They come in. I showed them the signature of Janet Jackson's signature, giving me permission to use her song. Yo, they wired $10,000 into my bank account because I had the signature, and they gave me a record deal for $100,000, and I was signed to Warner Brothers in Germany.
That's
And
why y'all need to share this.
I moved to Germany. I moved to Germany in 98. I was living out in Germany. I was signed with this label called Milk Records. They were with, you remember Mark Morrison? Return of the Mac.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Remember Mark Morrison? So we was both signed to the same record label in Germany. My production company that I was signed to, they were in Denmark, Copenhagen. So I was living back and forth between Germany and Copenhagen, Denmark. Then next thing you know, I'm on a circuit. I'm doing shows out there in Germany, getting paid like $7,500 a show. Now I'm booming. I'm living in hotels. I don't have no apartment. I'm living in hotels. I'm doing it. Yo. Next, Johnny Wright. I catch wind of Johnny Wright because Britney Spears and NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, they were out there in Germany doing their thing. I get a hold of Johnny, and he was like, hey man, let me see if I can get you a record deal here in the States. But mind you, I skipped a step. So in 1995, I met this guy that introduced me. I'm just gonna say this. I get so crazy about the story. So I meet KRS-One in 95. Okay. KRS-One produced the track for me, right? Let me tell you this. He produced the track for me. I skipped this whole step. He produced the track for me, KRS-One in 95. So I had this song. So I was like, I'm going to add this song. I have it. And I'm going to add that to my album. But the crazy thing about it, when I got signed to Warner Brothers in Germany, I found out that KRS-One was the president of a label that was underneath Warner Brothers in the States. So I hit up KRS-One in 98. KRS-One signs me to Warner Brothers in the States. Right? He signs me. He produced me in 95, and then he ended up signing me in 98, right? I was signed to the label for 1 month. Next thing you know, KRS-One gets fired from the record label.
Oh.
I get dropped from the record label. I get dropped from the label in Germany because they had a new president come on. So guess what? I'm back to homeless.
No.
With money.
Yeah.
I'm back to being homeless, but with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different kind of being homeless. It's a different kind of homeless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go. No house, but I got money in my pocket.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So now I'm living in a hotel. So then it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So meanwhile, I got this stuff going with Shaquille O'Neal, right? As a producer.
Mm-hmm.
As a producer. So I got the Warner Brothers, I got the deal with Warner Brothers, I got the Shaquille O'Neal stuff going. So I got two big things going for me. As a producer, I'm producing Shaquille O'Neal. And as an artist, I'm signed to Warner Brothers in Germany. So I'm going back and forth. But I don't have a house. I don't have an apartment. I'm living in a hotel.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing all this. I didn't have no business manager. I had no one to teach me about money. You know what I'm saying? I was 25 years old. You know what I mean? Serious bank. Didn't have no management skills, no economic skills, nothing. Just and then here comes a lot of friends. Hey, can I borrow 5,000? Hey, can I borrow $1,000? Hey, yo, I thought the money was never going to end. You know what I'm saying? Because it was coming in.
Right.
So here you go. Hey, you need $1,000? Here you go. How much do you need? You need 1,500? Oh. I got you. Here you go. Yo, I gave all my money away. Yo, it was like this.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then
that's great.
So then I hooked up with Kumo D. I saw Kumo D in a restaurant. I drove by the restaurant and I went up to him and I said, I got some music for you. Can't you see I'm eating right now? You're going to have to talk to me later. I said, man, I got music for you, man. If you listen to my beats, I promise you, we're going to do business. Your shit better be hot. It better be hot. Yo, I played him the music right there. I had the speakers and everything while he's eating in a restaurant. He was like, man, this is how much you want a track? I was like, just give me 5,000. He was like, let me hear another one. Oh, man. Okay. On Friday, come pick up $10,000. I want 2 tracks. I was like, are you serious? What? He says, these are the 2 tracks, right? I said, yeah. He said, 5,000 a pop, right? He said, come meet me at Warner Brothers. I'm going to give you a check for $10,000. I was like, look at God. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at God. Like,
oh my God.
Like, you know what I mean? So next thing you know, Shaquille O'Neal's label, the label folded that he was signed, that the Shaq had his label to. They got rid of the black music department. So now Shaq's album comes out, but now they got rid of everybody. So now there's no real, there's nothing going to come. There's not another album because the label delayed. Boom. So
Mhm.
I got that moving. I got the Big Daddy Kane going. I meet Benny Medina. Benny Medina hooks me up with Karen White. I end up doing a remix with Karen White, Hunger for Love. That was real good. And then I did Tatiana Ali. I did a remix for Tatiana Ali from the Will Smith show. It was number two in Europe. It was number 2 in Europe. I redid her song. I put her on a Jefferson Starship sample, rock sample. I made a rock version of her record. It blew up in Germany. It was in like Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, New Zealand. I was number 2 on the charts with the song I did. So now I got some international stuff going. Like now it's like it's popping. So now now everybody's checking for me. Everybody now my phone is ringing. Like, yo, what up? What you got going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me do something else. Let me start because I got these relationships. Let me go behind the scenes and let me start putting people in the mix. So I created this company called Make the Plug. I started and this is this. See if I can turn this camera around. Hold on. Show you something. Can y'all see that?
Wow. Oh, yeah. I can see it. Wow.
Yeah, that's Make the Plug right there.
Oh, man.
20 million copies sold.
That is crazy. That is crazy, fam.
So I started Make the Plug. I started taking producers and putting them on projects. So I was like an agent, like a manager, but I wasn't a manager and I wasn't an agent. But I was brokering people's deals and putting them on other people's projects.
Wow.
So I became successful behind the scenes as a person making the plug. So then I discovered this producer. He got some banging beats. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to change. I said, what's your situation right now? He said, I'm living in the garage. I said, really? He said, yeah, me and my dad are in the garage. I said, guess what? I'm going to change your life in 14 days.
Yep.
In 14 days, I'm going to change your life. Give me a beat CD and let me go to work.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Right? So let me go to work. He gives me a beat CD.
Mm-hmm.
Turn around and I take his beat CD. I let Redman hear the beat. Redman's like, yo, I want it.
Yeah.
And now he got a beat. Right?
Oh, shoot.
So then, you know, then here it is. Then my other cousin moves out here.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Me and my cousin start, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, we need to get a bigger place. Let's get a bigger place. Let's, you know. So here it is. Here it is. I'm with my other cousin now. Next thing you know, this shit don't work out. This shit don't work out.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Money's a little funny now. Money's a little funny. So I sampled something from Busta Rhymes and made an R&B. Busta, what it is right now. I made an R&B version of that. I called up Busta Rhymes early in the morning. He heard that, was like, yo, what's going on? I was like, yo, listen, I'm short money right now. I want to get into this place. But I'm short. I got to get away. I'm not working out with my cousin. I was like, I should have never moved in with him. I needed to get my own place, but I just wanted to save money by having a roommate. You know what I mean? But that wasn't the case. And out here, you have to pay because it was a really nice place. First month's, last month's, and it's security.
Right.
And the security is the same amount as the first month, the last month, and the security is the deposit. So I was short like $3 grand. Busta Rhymes was like, "Yo, how much you want for this track?" He was like, I was like, "Yo, you know what, Busta? Because I really need this, yo, just give me $3 grand." He was like, "That's it." You know, mind you, I charged Shaquille O'Neal
Yeah,
7,500, charged Kumo D 5,000, Big Daddy Kane 3,500.
yeah,
But because all I needed was just $3 grand, I didn't want to be greedy. So I didn't, you know what I mean? I felt like it was really going to help me more than anything, and I can work it from there. Yo,
right.
you know that Busta Rhymes wrote me a check for $3 grand, but he wrote it to DaRock on the check, not Duane Ramos. It said
Right.
DaRock.
Right. So
And I'm like, how am I supposed to cash that? He's Duane Incorporated. I was like, Incorporated? What's that? So he invites me to go with him in the tour bus to go to the David Bowie, God rest his soul, David Bowie concert. There's Busta Rhymes and David Bowie.
yeah.
I have this beat CD. I have the beat CD from the guy. I played the track for Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is going crazy. Yo, who is this? I said, his name is Rick. He was like, Rock, I want this beat. How much does he want for the beat?
Yeah.
I said, give me 15,000 for the track. Busta was like, come see me tomorrow. I'll have the check for 7,500, and the other 70, and then the other 75 once the song is mixed and mastered.
Yeah.
I had the dude come down. He brings 3 minutes. I said, who are these people? He said, these are my managers. I said, well, they're not eating off this.
Yeah.
And then I interviewed the managers, right? I said, y'all come in the room. I said, how much is the beat worth for Busta Rhymes? He said, oh, well, he's a new producer. I said, we probably take 1,500 for the track. I said, well, what do you think? Oh, yeah, you know, between 15 and 2,000. I said, well, what do you think? He said, yeah, I agree. I said, you know what? If I was him, all you would have been fired. He said, what are you talking about? I said, because I just got him $15,000. What?
Right?
How did you do that? What? He's a new artist. I said, because my name adds value. And I got him $15,000. And I pulled him aside and said, yo, your managers are whack, bro. They trying to only get you $1,500. And if I was a snake, I could have took all your money. And I was like, but that's crazy. Not me. That's not my spirit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I placed that joint on him, and it went gold. Now that's the wreck. That's the flag.
That is crazy. Hey,
my name on the bottom, Duane DaRock.
As DaRock, hey, you know something, DaRock? We're running out of time. Can we do a part 2?
We're gonna have to do a part 2. So let me just say this. How much time do I have? I'm gonna say one last thing.
About 2 minutes.
Okay. So fast forward. My level of success has been up and down, as you can see. It's been up and down. Right? So then I became a life coach, a spiritual life coach for Tiffany Haddish, Taye Diggs, Duane Martin, a lot of different celebrities. And so now I'm getting ready to tap into that. But then I jumped into being a music supervisor for television shows. I got shows coming out. I'm doing I got a chance to meet Oprah. I manifested Oprah in my life. So I'm doing some stuff for her network. So there's a lot of big stuff, but I dragged this. I went on too long. But there's going to be a part 2. Matter of fact, we're going to do part 2 on my live. Let's go to my live.
Definitely. We could do that. DaRock, I want to thank you for coming on my show. It was very interesting, man. I tell you what, I'm speechless. Again, I want to thank you for coming on my show, and I can't wait for part two.
Yo, we gotta do a part two, but we're gonna go on my live. We got part two, and
okay,
because there's just so much, and I just want to bring the educational part to the story, because there's a lot of people that look at it, but they got to know the business part. It's more about business, less talent, more about business. But y'all check it out. I also got MC Light's TV show coming out called Partners in Rhyme. I'm a music supervisor for that. There's another TV show called Lace. I'm doing the music for that. I just did Double Cross season 1. So, but just be looking out for the name. Shout out to Denny Soar. Shout out to Matt Golden. Shout out to all the people who really support me. New Bedford, all my Cape Verdeans, all there. You're going to see Cardi B, Faith Evans, every artist that I worked with, they all shout out Cape Verdeans. All of them. You know what I'm saying?
I can attest to that.
And Jada Kiss, I got records out with Jada Kiss. Just Google Duane DaRock. You see what I'm doing. My website's DuaneDaRock.com. Mike, end this and go with me on the live on my page, man.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Y'all see my man Duane DaRock. I'm on to have him on the show, and we got to end this right now. Again, I want to thank Blackjack, and you have been watching Sports Corner. As you know, we're going to be doing a lot of sports shows and NBA and all that good stuff, but I'll bring you something a little different, a little bit of entertainment. And again, see you next Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Blackjack TV. Thank you all. Have a great day.